How's it going, guys? Randall aka Shizukats here on the Tressa's Collectibles channel to bring you our latest installment of TD++, the series where we show you how to get the most mileage out of a single trial deck and introduce new cards from the lower rarities of the booster box that will allow you to quickly enhance the TD strategies while staying on a budget. The Lycoris Recoil trial deck comes packed with a lot of important profiles that you would want in any completed deck. Strong early game options, level 1 advantage combo, and a level 3 finisher combo. In this video, we're going to be adding cards that can help patch up some of the areas the deck is lacking in, while also introducing some new strategies. Before we start adding any cards from the booster set, let's start by identifying any cards from the trial deck that we potentially want more copies of. The level 0 Chisato runner is an excellent early game option that we definitely want to see on turn 1. Additionally, the level 3 finisher climax combo is basically always a profile that you want 4 copies of in your list, so we'll want to push it up to 4 alongside its Pants Climax. Many of the other profiles available in the trial deck are quite strong as well, and we advise you to keep them in the deck moving forward, such as the Mizuki level 0 Drop Searcher that activates both on play and on death, as well as the Takina level 3 that can dig through the top cards of your deck to find your late game pieces. Additionally, we'll be keeping all of our copies of the Takina Brainstorm from the trial deck rather than introducing one of the new lower rarity Brainstorms from the booster set. The Kurumi Double R Brainstorm is generally the brainstorm of choice for any completed deck of Lycoris Recoil, but we try to stay away from double Rs whenever possible for the TD++ series, so we won't be implementing that card in this list either. Now let's take a look at the first set of cards we'll be introducing from the booster set. Starting with the 1-0 event, Interest in the Unknown, we add some much needed deck speed to our list. Our level 1 advantage combo Chisato doesn't advance through the deck at all, so having this event will provide us with more control over our deck state while simultaneously adding extra targets into our waiting room to grab off Chisato's combo. This card also has a level swap component allowing you to play this event and then level swap to red, which lets you play blue and red cards in the same turn even if you're at level 1 with 0 cards in clock. The next card we're adding is the level 0 3 Rings Takina. This has a powerful effect to look through the top 3 cards of your deck to try to find an event. If you add one to your hand, you discard a card, but if you don't add one, there's no downside whatsoever, allowing this to be a free mill of up to 3 cards. Between the Proof of Allen Children event already in the trial deck, and the newly added Top Check 4 event, we have many potential cards to grab off of this effect, and even if we miss, the extra mill is much appreciated for the same reasons as the Top Check 4 event. Takina's second effect is that she can send a specific level 3 Takina from your waiting room to memory when she's placed on stage and you have 2 or less memory. That particular level 3 is No Matter Where You Are Takina. This card has an ability that lets us place it on stage directly from memory as long as our level zone has 2 or more copies of the Chisato runner and or 3 Rings Takina. Summoning Takina this way doesn't require any stock, instead requiring 2 cards from hand, and when placed from hand or from memory, all of our characters get plus 3000 power until the end of the turn, letting us easily scale over opposing boards. This summoning ability can even be used at level 2 as long as you meet the level condition, making it a fantastic mid-game option for addressing boards that are just a little too big to handle normally. Another big addition to the deck is 2 copies of the 1-1 Majima backrow. This card is a bit complicated to use, but can be extremely rewarding when played correctly. Majima's assist ability doesn't give any actual power, instead giving characters in front of him a brand new ability. When they become reversed, if you have less stock than your opponent, they can send themselves to stock. This ability incentivizes using your resources liberally and staying at less stock than your opponent in order to regain stock by crashing your characters. Staying at lower amounts of stock will also allow you to continue utilizing your Chisato level 1 combo for multiple turns in a row, as she has a 4 or less stock condition to use her climax combo at all. When playing this deck, it's important to distinguish when you should go for a line of play that defeats your opponent's board with the Takina level 3, or sacrifices your own board in order to keep a steady stream of resources with Majima. Not every game will be the same, and it's up to you to decide which line you think is optimal for the matchup. The rest of the additions to the list are utility cards that we've sprinkled here and there. We've taken out the Mizuki Sack Climax swaps from the trial deck in favor of the Takina Climax swap from the booster set. Since her cost uses stock rather than sacrificing a character, it has better synergy when used alongside Majima and the Chisato Climax combo. As for backups, the Takina backup is a great tech card against decks that heavily rely on early played characters, while the level 2 Chisato and Takina backup is useful in the late game for ensuring your opponent isn't able to dish out lethal damage. This level 2 Mizuki's primary use is for her on-play ability, allowing you to shuffle clean cards from your opponent's waiting room into the deck to ruin a well-compressed deck state and allow you to deal damage much more easily. Her second ability is that she's a level 2 reverser, which is quite niche, and we mainly run the card as a supplement to our endgame. Finally, the level 0 Fuki is a powerful utility level 0 with her ability to clock herself to top check 4 and add a character to hand. She also has a secondary ability that can be used to ruin your opponent's early game if they aren't careful. Whenever any of your characters makes a direct attack, you can choose an opponent's front row character and make it lose 1000 power for the turn. If the opposing character is sent to waiting room by dropping its power to 0, this opens up another lane for a direct attack to use this ability again. Now for the game plan. In the early game, you will want to prioritize Chisato Runner and the Kurumi 4K Beater as your best early game plays, while you sculpt your hand and fill it with cards like the Chisato level 1 combo and 1-0 event to prepare for the level 1 game. I also recommend securing a copy or two of the Takina Brainstorm to go into your back row. At level 1, use your Chisato combos to salvage additional copies of herself when possible. Takina Brainstorm can also use her other ability to save Chisato by sacrificing herself, so that Chisato can go for another round, while Majima level 1 and Door Climaxes can grab even more copies from the waiting room, in addition to setting up for your mid to late game by grabbing cards such as your level 3 Climax combo. With help from the Allen Children event and Pants Climaxes, getting back the Climax to use Chisato's combo multiple turns in a row is pretty doable. As for level priority, you will typically want to prioritize red first for the level 1 Chisato combo, but if you have a copy of the 1-0 event in hand, you can prioritize blue instead to play your blue cards and then use the event to swap to red and play all your red Chisato cards in the same turn. Going into level 2, ideally you have specifically the Chisato Runner and 3 Rings Takina in your level zone, which gives you access to both red and blue, while also turning on the summon condition to bring out Takina level 3 from the memory. At level 3, use your Climax combo finisher with as many copies as possible. Triple finisher requires 7 starting stock, which is fairly manageable. If you don't have the necessary amount of stock for triple combo, a serviceable substitute for a third copy is the Trial Deck Takina level 3. Resolving double combo and 1 Takina requires 6 starting stock instead of 7. Also, you can use the level 2 Mizuki when necessary if you think your opponent's deck state is too compressed to deal a good amount of damage. And that's going to wrap up our TD++ for Lycoris Recoil. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. Coming up next will be our deck profile by Simu, our resident Lycoris Recoil player, and he'll be showing you everything you need to know about how to play an optimized build of Lyco. Until then, this has been Randall aka Shizukats on the Tressa's Collectibles channel. See ya!